Okay, welcome back to a new video, guys. Today I'm gonna be going over the two losses that I took today, totaling to $60. Obviously, I took two trades today. One with normal size, so it was 40 something dollars. It was $46, and then the second trade, I took half risk, so I went half my normal sizing, normal position size. So it was only $20. I was just trying to make back the profits that I lost. Like I was trying to make back the $46 and just be break even for the day. But unfortunately, we lost both trades. So I'm gonna go over the first trade. As you guys can see, if we look at the 4-hour time from here for GBPJPY, we are bearish on the 4-hour time frame. So this was the last bearish reconstruction of 4-hour time frame, and price retraced all the way back up here. Fuck. So yeah, price retraced all the way back up here, and as you guys can see on the 1-hour time frame, we had this 1-hour bearish order block. Boom, price starts to react from it. We get a lot of sellers. Asia session just continuates this bullish trend off of the tap into this 1-hour demand. Boom, we break structure. London session begins, sweeps out Asia, current Asia highs like on that session right here. Boom. And then honestly, now realizing this, I realized that I made a mistake and that the 8 London highs were these ones right here, not the ones that I laid out. So London session begins, we sweep out previous Asia highs, boom, sweep, and boom. A lot of sellers step into the market and leads to this 1-hour market structure shift and two-hour market structure shift. So on the 2-hour time frame, I have always said that the 2-hour time frame is always stronger than the 1-hour time frame. So we get the 2-hour market structure shift. Boom. Price starts retracing back. I lay out from a higher low to my lower low, the Fibonacci retracement tool. So now I'm looking closely. I see the 15-minute time frame. I was waiting. I was like, okay, I want to look for sells from this 1-hour supply, which would be this entire thing right here, right? See price tap into it. Initial tap from near session. Then I was waiting. Okay, I knew that if it wanted to keep going down lower, Asia session was most likely going to sweep out near session highs and then have a market structure shift to the downside, and that's where I wanted to hop in for shorts. Um, Obviously, I did not fall for this fake out. I never get into the trade early. I was waiting until this market structure shift right here. It did not happen. Price just went down there, activated the sell stop, swept the liquidity from this last break of structure in 15-minute time frame, and then immediately started heading up to the upside. We swept out these highs over here. Um, Swept out these highs, and what I believed to be London highs for these right here, but obviously London session half an hour before London session, that was probably already the London session. Like that was London session basically 7:30 to 8 a.m. That's like within the range where like that's the beginning of London session, and I thought these were London highs. And after that happens, price comes out there, sweeps out previous session London highs. At that moment, that's what I thought. And on the 15-minute time frame, you get this very bullish reconstruction 15-minute time frame, market structure shift. We get a retracement, then we get a bearish reconstruction. We tap into this order block on a 30-minute time frame. However, I thought we already swept previous session highs, London session highs. We already swept all this liquidity, and we already like came very close to like the protected high. So I was like, okay, we're just gonna dump now. So I went in shorts. It was like 5:30 in the morning. I knew I was like in my head. I said it's best to wait till 7 a.m. I did not wait till 7 a.m. And immediately after press sale, I'm immediately in like drawdown. So I got into the trade like down here, and I had my stop loss all the way up here. So $46 I was risking on this trade. I think it was a bit up higher. I was in like right there. I was risking $46 to make a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. So it was like right there. I was targeting all of those lows right here. As you guys can see, we have lows stacked right after each other. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the moment. 6 lows we had. And it was like, okay, very good take profits, right? Unfortunately, New Year session begins. Comes up here, sweeps out previous session London high, sweeps out previous sweeps out previous session London highs, and immediately after that, we start heading down to the downside and we break structure of a 50-minute time frame, and it seems like it's just the market is bearish now. Basically, we have a market structure shift here probably. The session ended, so it wasn't possible to know. But what I think is that it's just gonna keep heading down, and probably we was just liquidity for the trade. But I don't think my idea was wrong. I just think it was like an unfortunate situation. Just unfortunate, bro. Can't win all the trades that we take. So that's minus 46. That would have put me probably $155 up on the week if I had just taken that L. But then I went to EURJPY, and news for the euro were actually pretty good. Like all of the macro events aligned for longs, and I was like, okay. So now, if you look at the 15-minute time frame down here, we had this 15-minute market structure shift, we had this bullish breaker structure, we had this liquidity sweep, and then a bullish breaker structure up here. Boom. So our protected low is this one. Then we have another breaker structure after sweeping these Asia lows, right? Boom, bullish breaker structure, bullish breaker structure. Then before almost an hour before New York session begins, we sweep out these lows right here in the 30-minute time frame for the people that were trading with limit orders, right? Boom. They get stopped out. And then I was like, okay, on the 15-minute time frame, we just got a 15-minute market structure shift, right? 15-minute market structure, shift. You have this bullish order block. As soon as New York session begins, it manipulates on the 5-minute time frame. So people that are trying to trade this from this 5-minute supply right here are probably already tapped in like right there, and they have their stop losses up here, right? So what happens? A lot of people are waiting for confirmation. So what does New Year session do? Sorry, what does New Year session do as soon as it begins at 13:00? We see that it comes down here. It activates all of those sell stops from the last 5-minute market structure. So here technically is a market structure shift to the downside. And this is where most people will get in for shorts. And you guys can see that immediately after that happens, they come all the way up here. We break structure to the upside, and it leads to this market structure shift on a 15-minute time frame, right? So I was like, okay, cool. This is like easy longs, bro. So I hop on the longs, bro. I put my stop loss below the low that had been swept before, like here during London session, and I was just targeting the highs. I wanted to take a shower because I had just come back from the gym. I literally had gotten back from the gym like less than an hour after, like during this while this was happening, right? I took a shower, I got out of the shower, I was in profit, but as you guys can see, at some point we were almost like halfway, like we were 1-1. We were break like 1 to 1 R. We were just missing 1 R more, and we would have like won the trade. So maybe our idea wasn't wrong, but it was just early. I don't know, bro. And the reason I took longs here, even though the 1 hour time frame is bearish technically, it's because on the 30-minute time frame, this was the last first break structure. You have the 30-minute microstructure chip. We had the sweep right here. So maybe it was me just being stupid because this is the 50% discount. This is not optimal for buys. So I should be looking. I should have been looking for sales. Maybe that was a mistake. And on the 2 hour time frame, as you guys can see, this is the range of the 2 hour time frame: higher low and higher high. So I was just expecting this to just keep going up higher from here because the news aligned with my idea. Like news for the euro came out pretty positive, as you guys can see. I'm gonna show you guys right now. All of the news came out better than forecasted. So I was expecting like a better price action today for this pair. I was expecting the euro to keep going higher against the JPY. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and we lose 2 trades on the day, and that puts us negative $66 on the day, right? Could have been worse, but obviously on the second trade, like I said, I did not use my normal risk. I sized down to half of what I normally size to, and that made me only risk $20, and I was aiming for a $40 profit. So I would have still been negative for the day, but it would have been only $6 loss, which would have pretty much been break even at that point. I was so mad. There were so many opportunities that I could have taken. I wasn't really mad, but I was kind of like disappointed that my trading idea did not work. I was just a bit too early in GBPJPY and EURJPY. It wasn't a bad trade either, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fiercely and say that it was a bad trade. It wasn't a bad trade. It was just an unfortunate day. I should not have been trading. It was hot, very high impact news day. So a lot of uncertainty, a lot of manipulation. However, I do regret not taking the USJPY trade because that would have been a winner for sure. But yeah, that was my week. Hope you guys enjoy. Um, I'll see you guys next week, probably Monday. I'll wake up early, and I always wake up early, bro. I'll grind. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next video.